welcome to episode 17 of the Cars and Cartridges podcast. I'm your host, Ryan, aka OG Retro. I'm here with my man, Chris, aka Koozie Retro Games. How you doing today, my man?
Doing good. We are recording this on a Thursday like normal. No claim sale tonight. We're taking a little bit of a break, but it's my buddy's birthday, so we're going to the bar tonight.
Hey.
And I've got tomorrow off work, so I'm going to a wedding. So we're playing golf. We're going playing golf in the morning and then driving out to Shelbyville, Michigan for the wedding.
Shelbyville, Michigan. That sounds wild.
It's like 3 hours from my house, southwest of Lansing, the capital. So no, it'll be fun. We'll go to the wedding. We booked our hotel 5 minutes from a casino, so I have $100 in. I'm gonna lose this money, and then drink it. It's a bad weekend to be a Busch Light, I can tell you that.
Oh, goodness gracious. That'll be an interesting. So, okay. I'm excited to see what this brings. This will be fun.
How are you?
I'm good, man. You know, just moving some stuff. You know, I'm going through a little bit of a move right now. I'm moving somewhere temporary, looking for a house hunting. It's pretty crazy. So that's very interesting. So that's been taking up a lot of my time. Moving the collection's kind of a pain, but it's fun to go through and see stuff I haven't seen in a while. And like, I've found shit I forgot I had, or like found just random shit, you know, it's cool. So
I've got one tub of like extra stuff, and I don't open it often unless it's throwing more stuff in it. But every time I open it, I'm like, I have this. I have this.
Right.
So you just see your stuff daily that's on your shelves.
Yeah.
So when you actually look in storage, it's like, oh, this is cool.
I have so many tubs of extra stuff, I guess. And so that's all cool. And it's been fun doing that. And I'm excited for, you know, I love setting up new spaces, like new offices or new work areas or new bedrooms, even, or new gaming areas, new whatever. Like it's fun to me. So I have fun. Like I'm setting up my new office right now, and I'm enjoying that. Just put that first thing I did was like put the AC in today. So that was necessary. So it's just it's fun for me. And actually, this is kind of, we'll talk about our topics right now, but it's kind of a good segue into the first topic. Today, we're going to be talking about the game room, or not the game room, the game store, but also maybe the game room of your dreams. I've been having these weird reoccurring dreams recently where I've just been thinking of this game store, like just buying stuff there, and it's a dope game store. And I'm like, that's a good, what would be the game store of your dreams? What would it have in it? What would they be selling? What kind of services would they offer, etc.? Next, what are your family's favorite game? Like family and friends, what are they into? What kind of games did they play? Are they MMO players? Are they FPS? Are they playing Call of Duty? Are they playing Fortnite, Roblox? Great story about Roblox. Remind me about Roblox. Really? Okay. Oh my God. I forgot about this story before I even said that, but this is important, psychotic, and very interesting.
Oh God, okay, I'll remind you.
Koozie's going to be bringing us through games that you can pick up and play anytime, anywhere. What are your favorites? You know, I mean, is it a Super Smash Bros. Melee? Is it a Super Mario Bros? Something like that, a Pokemon's? And then finally, to finish it off, y'all want to hear about it, I'm sure. If you haven't heard about it enough, but you're going to get our take on it. The Logan Paul Charizard, Logan Paul, as you know or don't know, if you've been living under a rock, fought Floyd Mayweather in a boxing match, and he wore a first edition BGS 10 Charizard on his neck after the fight as a flex. So we'll be talking about that.
So crazy. All right, let's get into the game
store.
Yeah, let's do game store of your dreams.
Game store of your dreams. So to start, yes,
go ahead,
you start it.
Start us off.
All right, like I said, I've been having this reoccurring game store dream, and I think, I mean, it's always retro, right? Like I'm always seeing like a retro video game store, and it's big, dude. And there's like, I think there needs to be just a massive selection, right?
Okay.
Like, I think that's important. I think in a video game store, there's just a massive selection, like more games than you can, like almost overwhelming.
So are you talking like having stuff all the way from like VIC 20 to PS5?
100%.
And like having like a decent VIC 20 selection?
Yes. Like just crazy. Like, and this is like we'll say like $0 to $40 games are on the shelves because whatever. And then there's like glass cases of some high end stuff, right? Glass
Mhm.
cases of the high end stuff. And this is like pretty typical shit. But then I want to see like behind like locked cases on like, like floating shelves, right? Floating shelves behind the counter, locked with like graded games or like some crazy shit. I don't think
Okay.
I haven't seen many local game stores selling graded games.
No, so that YouTuber that talked about Cy Cooper, who owns this game store, Double Jump Video Games out in Washington, they
Mhm.
have a couple graded games and sealed like controllers. So they have like a high end section,
That's
and like
cool.
I don't know if it's more of just like a you're expecting it to sell, but it's more of like an eye candy thing, and it brings people in the door.
Well, yeah, exactly. And I think that's it. Whether it sells or not, I think that would be a super cool like display piece. I think having I think not enough game stores I've been in have like uh like vintage Nintendo signage and
That's
stuff.
what I was gonna say. I want to in mine. I'd want to have vintage signs or kiosks set up that people can play.
100%. That kiosk, dude. So like all the kiosks. Get
Or
as
even
many
if you had just like maybe you had a back room where you had a couple like arcade machines set up, like a couple pinball machines or a couple shooters, like shooting games, something like that to like tie into it. That would be cool.
there's this there's this game store that's kind of similar to what we're talking about. Like, and now that I'm thinking of it, they do a good job. It's called Robot City Games in Binghamton, New York. I've been there like twice, but they have an arcade in the back, like you could play games in the back, and then the front is a game store, and it's like pretty impressive. Everything from like the really old Atari shit to PS5 and stuff.
Uh-huh.
And I don't know, not maybe too much high end, but again, maybe it's kind of like a
And I
as it
wonder if a
comes
lot of
in
these
basis.
I was gonna say, I wonder if a lot of these stores don't have that crazy high end stuff is because it sells.
Right. Yeah,
I wonder if
maybe it
I
moves
think it
quick.
just sells.
Yeah. Oh,
Now let me ask you a few questions about stuff you would sell in there because I was thinking about when you brought up this topic, would I sell these things? Would you sell plushes?
hmm.
Like video game character plushes and
I
Pokemon
guess
plushes.
if space was no object, I think I would. I don't
Yep.
like plushes personally, but like I feel like a lot of people do. And
Hmm.
like you gotta have it. And I think again, that's kind of one of those like video game elements that kind of almost looks cool in a store. Like, I don't know. I think it
Yeah,
could
I
be
wonder
cool.
if it's like you have like the main, like you have some like main Animal Crossing characters, some main like Final Fantasy, like even if you got away from like your just typical like Mario, Toad, Luigi, Princess Peach, maybe you had some like Final Fantasy characters or things like that, or some like kind of one-offs, but the popular characters. I think that would kind of make you more appealing than the normal store to your local audience because they know you have these kind of oddities that people like.
I agree. And I think also the way they display it, like having a bunch of CRTs would be super cool, like making it
Mhm.
look like a vintage store almost, like focusing on like the carpet, like vintage
Yeah,
carpet, like doing something crazy, like the designs on the wall, like a retro 90s style, but making it clean too. Like, oh, it would be so fun to just
I keep going back to Cy Cooper,
design.
but his game store is like my ideal one. Like they sell
Yeah.
CRTs in their store. Like not
Oh,
many
that's
game stores
badass.
sell
That's
CRTs.
awesome. Yeah,
And then
that's so
Thrift
cool.
Delicious on Instagram, and they're also down in Indiana. I follow them. I've been to their store. They just redid their store over the past year, and they made an entire wall out of VHS tapes.
That's
So
so
that looked really
badass.
cool. I guess
Yeah,
Ian,
stuff like that is super unique.
would you sell VHS tapes in your store?
It's a tough one just because they're like prone to break. Like VHS is a media that, I mean, obviously you can test it and make sure it's working, but like anything else,
Hmm.
I don't know, maybe it. I would definitely want like a VHS playing on a CRT,
Yep.
like vintage movies, like having Home Alone play in the background or
Or
fucking.
vintage commercials would always be
Oh
cool.
yeah, dude. Anything, stuff like that to kind of add to the vibe. Definitely good music in the store. Uh, just like I don't know, man. Uh, maybe a little coffee cafe.
I
Just
think the
like
biggest thing I would want to is knowledgeable employees.
I
We
was
had
thinking the
a
same exact thing too.
we had a game store by my house. and like the employees, they knew I guess they knew their stuff about games, but they were like kind of like your stereotypical gamers. They don't have much like people skills, and they don't really like know what to do in like the work setting or whatever. And it's
Right.
like it was just like difficult to go there. The
Yeah.
new game store that I've been going to, the employees are great. They'll talk to you. They know their stuff. They can do their job effectively, efficiently, and well. So it makes the buying experience a lot better.
Yeah. I was thinking the same thing. I was like, a lot of game stores I go in, it's like a completely like self-guided experience. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
Whereas like if I had a game store, I would want to like try and my ideal dream game store is like a very talkative one. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like a social environment too, where you
Yeah.
go hang out and talk to people and the owner, whatever. They're kind of knowledgeable and chatting. That would be cool.
It makes it that much better. Would you sell cards? Would you sell Pokemon cards,
100%.
Magic
Yeah.
cards, things like that?
100%. If I had a game store, I would do it both. And
And
my
I think
ideal
having
dream
like,
game store would just be floor to ceiling stocked.
yeah,
Just
and I
stocked.
think having like that back room where you hold tournaments or hold tables where people can actually play the games or come in, and you have like Tuesday is trading night, so bring your ball and come in on Tuesdays and just trade with each other. Like
Yeah,
it makes it that much better.
I agree. I think that's cool. I think what else is there anything else that we didn't touch on that would be
I guess movies kind of went along with VHS tapes. And I think
yeah.
so the local game but I guess with your floor to ceiling stock, it also has to look nice.
I was
The
yeah,
game store that I go to has floor to ceiling stock, but it just looks bad. Like it looks
right.
they have don't get me wrong, they have a small store and they do what they can with the space. And in our minds, we're talking unlimited space, but
Right.
you got to display it nicely.
I agree. And I think excuse me, I think there are ways to do that. But with limited space it's tough. With it like
Yes.
anything.
Yeah.
But
And I think not having junk. Like I don't want 30 Wii Fit boards stacked up in a corner.
no, and that's the thing. No junk. Just like all like you could have one or two copies of sports games, like for
Yeah.
set collections, but like everything else just banger, banger,
And
banger,
so
banger,
much easier
banger,
said than
banger.
done. This is totally hypothetical in
Oh
our
yeah,
heads.
yeah. Totally hypothetical. This is not realistic, but like the ideal game store would just be each system would have a bookshelf and you would just see banger, 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 banger system or every game complete sets with a couple in stock of each game, like
How would you do? Would you carry new releases? So say the new Crash
oh yeah,
Bandicoot
yeah,
comes
yeah,
out on the
yeah.
PS5, would you get 30 copies of that to have?
Yeah, this is the dream game store, 100%. They would have the newest releases as well.
Yeah.
They would 100% get everything. You'd have to.
I think it's cool when you have like I went to a couple game stores on my road trip and they
Mhm.
had like badass like artwork or displays in the windows.
Yeah,
Like if you have
window
like cool
displays.
like curb appeal, I guess is the
100%
word.
CRT in the window is something cool. Like on
Yeah.
the CRT playing, like some if you're in a decent area where you're not gonna get robbed, some cool video games, maybe just repro boxes or something
Yeah.
of like cool stuff.
Standees in the corner in this out the window or
Standees.
something like that.
Exactly. That would be cool. So
God.
that's probably it. It's just cool to think about. And if you have an idea, anybody that is listening, drop some of your requirements for your dream game store in the comments. Let us know what you think.
Yeah.
What would you include? What are some necessaries?
Yeah, I mean we hit it on the head. I mean, it'd be so cool if you could run something like that. And I think another thing you got to have, and I'm going off kind of the more business side of this, but it makes me happy as a customer, is like being efficient with trade ins. I don't want to drop off my trade in, then you tell me it's going to be ready in 2.5 hours. Like, I'm not
100%.
saying you got to get it done in 10 minutes because if I drop off a bin of stuff, it's going to take a while. But I mean, yeah, just be efficient with it. And like I said, I keep going back to this game store by my house. And in my hypothetical game store, I wouldn't do this, but it's something they do. And I keep coming back. They take everything. I take a bin of
Yeah.
stuff with anything and everything, and I walk out with an empty bin.
Yeah, that's insane.
So it's something that they do that works for me.
I hear your pup barking in the background. Is that the new pup or
No,
your
that's
family dog?
that's the family dog. I'm
Family
in the
dog.
basement now. It's a little quieter from upstairs, but I didn't feel like moving my whole setup today. So if you
Yeah,
guys
no
hear a dog
worries.
barking, you guys are all used to dogs barking. New pup's doing well though.
Good.
She's doing good. We've had her since
Oh,
Sunday.
nice. That's awesome. I'm happy to hear, brother. All right. What are you're gonna talk about? What are some games that you can just pick up and play anywhere?
Cool. So when I thought about this, I was like, kind of like, I'm bored. I just want a game for a little bit, something that you don't have to get your mind so into, or be like, okay, where did I leave off in the story, or something even you just want to play with buddies. Maybe your buddy's not a huge gamer, but it's something that he can pick up and learn real quick and play. So I guess coming to mind is your stereotypical, just like party games. Mario Kart's an easy one to pick up and play. Wii Sports is an easy one to pick up and play. Things like that. But then I also was thinking like getting a little more retro, something like Burnout on the PS2, I think is a fun game that
Classic
you could
game.
just pick up and play. And
It's a good
it
call.
adds that like another element just beyond a racing game. Like smashing each other and destroying each other while you're racing is part of the fun of it. Um Another game I can pick up and play too is Call of Duty. Just hopping online, multiplayer. That's something that I can do. Or like buddies who maybe we were big into like Black Ops in high school or whatever, and we played zombies. Even if you just want to sit down and play a match of zombies, that's always a classic thing to go to.
Yeah, I two come to mind for me. I'd say like Pokemon Silver, like just in general, Pokemon, yes, but then specifically Pokemon Silver when I was a kid was
Mhm.
always the one for me that I'd pick up and play. Like if anything was going on, I'd have my Game Boy, I'd pick up Pokemon Silver and I'd just be playing that. And then still today, like if if I have to kill a bunch of time, maybe on a road trip, maybe I'd have a Game Boy Color Pokemon Silver and I'd be playing that just to
Yeah.
pick up and play. And then if I'm at home, the like what like my brother and I love playing Fortnite still to this day. I started literally when Fortnite was in beta. So I've been playing it we've both been playing now for like 4 years. And so that one is pretty easy to just be like, let's get a couple quick games. And we'll get
Yeah.
a couple quick games and it's a lot of fun.
And that was when I was in college. My roommate Seth, he loved playing Fortnite. So we'd come back from class, we'd have a half an hour before we had to go to our next class, or 45 minutes before we went to dinner or whatever. We'd play a couple quick games of Fortnite. He'd play it, I'd watch him,
Yeah.
or vice versa. That is a quick game to pick up and play. That's something if you're new to it, you kind of can't just pick up and play. You kind of gotta get into it and learn it. But if you play
Yeah,
it
there's a bit of a
before,
learning curve.
that's great. Is that game still as popular, or is it kind of fallen off? I haven't been following the
It's
Fortnite as
still
much.
pretty ridiculously popular. Like
Really?
yeah, I mean, Warzone, Call of Duty Warzone definitely like took some of the thunder. Um, and a lot of the big streamers that were streaming like Fortnite and stuff now like only stream Warzone and that's what they play. So it's kind of like Warzone's kind of probably the bigger game, maybe, but Fortnite's still massive.
Definitely.
And they
I
just
mean, also
the latest season they're doing a collaboration with like Rick and Morty. So it's like
really,
they just do the craziest collabs and they have so much fucking
yeah,
money. So it's like sky's the limit for that game.
definitely. Another game that I think you could pick up and play if you're with buddies who maybe don't play a lot of video games is the Mario Party series. That's always
Yeah.
a good one, and people love that.
Yeah.
Or even like I had a roommate at college who had never really played like Super Nintendo or whatever, but a game that I thought we could just pick up and kind of play and mess around with was we played Street Fighter on Super Nintendo. Like
Yeah,
I mean,
that's
those I guess those retro games you just kind of button mash and you
right.
hit each other is something easy.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean,
That's
you
not
could
a
take the
bad
time to learn the
not a bad call.
combinations
But
and
like
learn the
Mario Kart,
strategy.
if you can use a controller, Mario Kart's not too hard.
Yeah, definitely. Trying to think of what else, but yeah, like you said, good road trip games. When I'm on a road trip, I find myself playing Pokemon. I find myself grabbing Super Mario World on the Game Boy Advance.
100%.
I will also grab Kirby. I'll grab a Zelda game thinking I'm actually gonna play Zelda for the first time and I never play
Will
it.
never happen. Will never
And
happen.
maybe one day. Maybe one day. What's your go-to system on a road trip?
Game Boy Color.
Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
Oh, I go Game Boy SP just for the backlit screen.
Well, I would do a backlit Game Boy Color.
Yeah.
backlit Game Boy Color with a flash cart. That's what I put.
That'd be cool. Yeah, I've taken Game Boy SP. I like playing my DS on road trips too. I've done
DS
that.
isn't bad. I like the 3DS. 3DS is very awesome
Hmm.
system, and you got the whole like virtual library, so you could have all the Game Boy Color games on it. I just like the form factor and like the nostalgia factor of the Game Boy Color because that was my road trip system as a kid. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Dude,
funny
we had a
story.
go ahead.
Funny story. Did I wait? Have I talked about on the podcast the time that my Game Boy Color flew off the roof of our car?
I don't think so.
Okay, it gets better. Okay, so talking about road trip systems, as a kid, I had my Game Boy Color Atomic Purple. Shout out, made a post about it today. Game Boy Color, and I was playing Star Wars Pod Racer at the time. Another amazing game with the Rumble Pack. It is that Game Boy Color game with the Rumble Pack in it. And I was playing Star Wars. I had it in a case, like that classic Game Boy Color case with a bunch of games. And we were at like a rest stop. It was, I guess we were on a vacation or something. We were at a rest stop and we put my dad, I don't know why my dad had my I guess I was getting in the car and my dad or whatever was rearranging the car and put my Game Boy Color on top of the car and then drove away accidentally. So my Game Boy Color flew off the top of
Oh
the car
no.
in the case. But here's where the story gets better. Uh we were coming out of the rest stop and apparently this happened and a cop was following us and he saw it happen. So the cop picks up the Game Boy, like picks up, but the cop had a prisoner in the back of the car or like a guy in the back of the car. Cop picks up the Game Boy Color and let the prisoner, the guy in the back of the car, play the Game Boy Color because he was going crazy on his way to prison or whatever. And this is back in the days. This is like when cops weren't maybe totally dicks. I don't know. But the cop let this dude in the back of the car play my Game Boy Color, apparently. And eventually we get a call that day, and because I had a card, and my dad literally always taught me this, like write your name inside your case. So like
I had like a label maker.
a label.
It was on the back of my yellow dandelion Game Boy Color.
There you go. Yeah, it said like my name and the phone number to call if it was found. Yep. And so we got a call from a police officer. It was like, hey, like found your son's Game Boy Color. I saw it fly off your guys' roof. Like I let the guy in the back of the police car like play around with it. Hope you don't mind. Like he was being a little annoying. So I just let him play with the Game Boy. Like, but I'll come drop it off for you guys.
You had lost it like when you guys left the rest stop, or you preoccupied with something else?
We were preoccupied, and I guess it took us until we got home that I was like, "Wait, fuck's my Game Boy, Dad?" And he was like, "Oh shit!" And then we got a call a couple hours later. I guess I got my Game Boy back.
Oh, that's crazy. That's like so lucky though, and like the fact that he let like a prisoner play it just like feeds into the system. I mean, the story.
Yeah, but that's why it's the best road trip handheld, man. You can just and it can survive being thrown from the top of a car. You know,
dude. When I was younger, my mom had a minivan. Mm-hmm. And it had the little fold down screen like from the ceiling.
Oh fuck yeah.
And it had AV or video audio inputs like in the front.
Did you put a GameCube in the car?
We put a Wii in the car. So I'm a few years old. I'm a few years younger than you.
Yeah.
So
because we did the GameCube in the car.
But it was difficult with the sensor bar for the Wii.
Yeah, so shit.
So that's where we ran into trouble, but we would make it work.
Were you trying to play Wii Sports?
Like Mario Kart, I think. But like then you're playing like either 2 or 4 people on this like 4x4 screen, and then you're dividing that in 4.
Yeah, that's dude, I remember doing that. We had the same type of setup road tripping with the GameCube doing Mario Kart Double Dash in I think it was either a minivan or a Yukon, like one of those big trucks or whatever my family had. And yeah, dude, fucking playing Smash Bros or Mario Kart in the car on the way down to the beach or something, way down to something like that was good times.
It's so difficult once you get into split screens.
Dude, this is a perfect segue though. Talking about
God, this is our thing. We should name this podcast The Perfect Segue.
That is a good name for a podcast. I don't know what it would be about. It would be about the perfect segue, but that's a good name for a podcast. Just only segues though. Perfect segue. Games that your family plays or you play with your family, games that you play with close friends? Like, what are your close friends into game wise? What is your family into? Do you have any? We were just talking about playing road tripping with our family.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start. I'll start there. Playing like Mario Kart Double Dash was a huge game, family game back in the day. We played that game a ton.
Yeah, so I think back in the day, me and my brothers played New Super Mario Bros. Wii a ton. We played New Super Mario Bros. Wii. We also played Mario Super Sluggers on the Wii. We played the Bigs on the Wii, Mario Kart, your typical just Wii staples. Because I mean, the Wii was our family home system. Um, nowadays, my brother plays Warzone. I believe he kind of just hides in his room and plays on his PC. So I
There
think
you
he's
go.
playing
That's Warzone.
Warzone.
Mm-hmm.
And then my other brother has his Switch, which he plays Fortnite on.
There we go.
He's not a huge gamer. I thought about getting him a new Switch game. If you guys have any ideas for a good Switch game for a kid going into ninth grade, let me know.
Okay.
And then my one buddy Jake, who I've known since high school, he's a game collector. We started collecting pretty much at the same time, go route slang hunting together, all that stuff. He's big into the NES, so he's going for the full NES set. So I know his sit down games are like he likes Contra. We've beaten Snow Brothers together. He's more of an RPG guy than I am. So he'll play Earthbound, he'll play Chrono Trigger, he'll play things like that.
He's got taste, is what you're saying.
Sure. I don't like to admit it, but yes.
He's a man of culture, unlike yourself, is what you're saying.
He also plays Apex a lot. Which I don't see a
so
lot of people
he lost some
Apex.
points there, but yeah. I love that you're just slamming it truly right now. I didn't notice that.
Dude, this is my pregame. I'm going to the bar right after this.
Fair enough, bro. Good for you, man. I had like a call. I took a nap before this. I had a coffee when I woke up. It was dude, I took a nice nap. You know those naps when you literally you close your eyes and then it's like time teleports, bro. I felt like I closed my eyes for a second and boom, an hour had passed and I woke up. That's what I had. That was nice.
Do you set an alarm or do you just
I did set an alarm and I usually I don't. Like I never set an alarm in the morning. I can literally tell myself when I want to wake up and just wake up in the morning. It's insane.
Yeah.
It's an incredible skill I have. Pat on the back.
Internal alarm clock. I can do that also. I never hit snooze.
Neither. Fuck that shit.
I moan and groan, but then I'm up.
Nah, I don't even fuck with the alarm clock. Except today I put the alarm clock just because I didn't want to sleep through it all. And I could have. If I didn't put the alarm clock, I probably would have slept through 6 o'clock recording time for the pod. So it's a good thing I did it. But we were saying games you play with family. That's cool. Did your mom or dad ever play any video games?
No, I've never really seen them play anything. Even thinking back when I was a kid, maybe I'd convince my dad for a game like Mario Kart here and there or something like that, but never really played. We were cleaning out the basement like last year, like just going through like the storage room, throwing out some old stuff. My mom found 2 Super Nintendo games, and I've never seen a Super Nintendo in my house. I'm like, where did these come from? And she goes, oh, when you were younger, I bought it at a garage sale thinking you would play it or your dad would play it, but then you guys never played it, so then I sold it at another garage sale. So like
imagine there's like Earthbound chilling.
I think it was Mario World and Yoshi's Story or something like that.
My mom swears she still has like sealed packs of Pokemon cards from when we were kids. I'm like, gotta find those.
Tell mom to start digging.
The thing was, dude, she always bought I got so much legendary collection when I was a kid.
Oh no.
So like if she just had like a couple legendary collection packs, like come on. Oh, that'd be so sick.
Has it through the moves.
Yeah, that's the thing. We've moved so many times that like I don't see it. I just don't believe it. But maybe one day I'll get a call like, oh my God. Yeah. Like I've found it in an old pocketbook or something. We'll rip it open.
Did your mom or anybody play video games in your family?
So here we go. We got I was gonna say, so like I said, Mario Kart, the classic Nintendo games, you know, my brother and I played. My sister sometimes joined in. Friends, obviously, all the time. Mario Kart, Mario Party, all that stuff. My brother was a huge Call of Duty gamer when he was a kid. Like Call of Duty 4 was our big game. Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 we played a lot of. My brother played I have very funny memories of my brother playing World of Warcraft, but not knowing what to do. I was like super into WoW, but he just kind of wanted to like
Yeah.
do that and figure it out. But he would kill the same thing over and over and over again and never move past this one area. And he would just kill these things for a cloth, and it was pretty funny. So he did that.
How old were you at
Uh,
that time?
I think he must have been like 8, and I was probably I was like 12. It was like
Mhm.
when I like first started really understanding how to play WoW,
Yeah.
like well, because dude, I must have. Like I'm not even embarrassed to say how much time I have played on WoW, but it's like probably close to a year. You know what I mean? Like a year
Yeah.
played, like 300 something days, like logged in. Like
Yeah.
I'm sure it is. Like I'm sure it's 1/25th of my life.
Have you
And
wanted to get back into it at all?
so I play like I've played all the way up until this expansion, but the last like 3 expansions, I'll play the first 2 weeks they come out and then quit.
Yeah.
So it's like I just at this point I like keeping up with like what's going on because it's a game, I love, but like I can't put the proper time. I don't have the time, dude. That game
Yeah.
requires so much time, and it's cool. Like, no hate to anyone that does that, and anybody that can make the time for that and do that. It's a badass game. Love the game. It's just, it's too much, man. When WoW Classic came out, I was reminiscing with my friend Steven yesterday, and I'll talk about what games he plays in a second. But I was putting, I think the first day it came out, I played 15 hours, and then like the next week, I was playing 12 hours a day, like at least.
Dude, yeah, when the new Call of Duty came out, like when I was in college,
Yeah.
but I think it might have been Advanced Warfare, I forget, but we had this one buddy on our floor and he was the gamer of the floor. And
Yeah.
like it came out and he didn't move like
Yeah.
for like a day. Like he like
Yeah.
walked in there and he's sitting in his underwear playing the game. Like he skipped class the whole next day and like
Oh yeah.
he did not move.
Yeah. No, so I'm glad. I can't be a productive member of society while playing that game. And it is what it is.
Is there like were you ever big into phone games?
No, dude, fuck phone games, man.
So
Hate phone games.
I'm not huge into phone games. I don't even know if I have any phone games on my phone, but when I was for a couple years, maybe like end of middle school through like mid high school, there was this game called like HAYPI Kingdom. So Hey Pie Kingdom. I pronounce it Happy Kingdom. Um,
It
and
sounds
I
very
was addicted.
bizarre.
I was addicted to it.
What did you
That was
do?
so it's your tip like you
Like
I guess
kingdom builder? Like just
yeah, so I've never played Clash of Clans or something like that, but I assume
yeah.
it's like that. Like you kind of build up your army, you can join alliances, you fight different clans, there's a
Yeah.
chat room, things like that.
Oh my gosh.
You build your own like kingdom, and I
Oh
was
my gosh.
addicted to the point where I'm like setting alarms in the middle of the night to play.
Bro, that I used to do that for WoW. So I did just say I never set alarms to get up in the morning,
Yeah.
but this brings up a point in my mind. I did used to set up alarms. So I used to go to school. I took a bus to school and I would have to get on the bus at like 6:30 a.m.
Yep.
I used to set alarms for like 5 a.m. or sometimes 4:30 a.m. so I could get my dailies done for
Yep.
World of Warcraft, like my daily quest done, knocked out for World of Warcraft before school. That way I could get home from school, do my chores, do my homework. And because I got home from school, I went to school at this private school like an hour away. And so I got home from school like 5 o'clock. So then I had only
Ew.
time to do a little bit of chores, a little bit of homework, and then I didn't have that much time to play WoW. So to maximize my playtime
Yeah.
and the time that I didn't have to do the shitty daily chores for WoW, I would do those in the morning before school. And I knew I had to quit it when I started. I mean, I knew I had to fucking quit when it started to feel like a fucking job. I was like, I'm
Oh my
waking up in the
god.
morning to do these things that I don't even really fucking like. And just because I feel like I have to. Yeah, we're done here.
So that's how it was. Like I had to like you had to like feed your like troops with like crops. You'd have to attack like fields or attack other
Yeah.
people to like get crops. And I would like set like alarms for like time because my army got so big at one point that you had to like feed them on a timetable. So I was setting alarms for that. I'd get
Yeah.
grounded for my phone for bad grades. I'd beg my mom for my phone back to like get on so
Yeah,
things
yeah,
didn't
yeah.
die.
Oh my God, my parents got so mad at me when I played WoW because I would spend so much time on it. And look where I'm doing well today. So it's all good. So played a lot of WoW.
We're not total losers, Mom.
Yeah, played a lot of WoW. And then my parents really didn't play any video games, but my dad, I know he had like Pong when he was a kid.
Okay.
I know there was like he definitely had one of the original video game systems or whatever. And I think it was Pong. So that's cool. And I remember like playing arcade games a little bit with the pops and maybe my mom when I was a kid, like Galaga, like that kind of shit.
My mom loves is Galaga the one with the kind of spaceship at the bottom and you're shooting the flying things? My mom loves Galaga. Like even if we go to like somewhere like a pizza place and it's there, she has to play it.
Fuck yeah, that game's awesome. So that's like a classic kind of. And my uncle Liam, shout out Uncle Liam, he has an original Galaga cab in I think he still has it. He had it like a couple years ago still, but in their beach house they have a Galaga cab.
That's awesome.
So a couple gamers in the fam, and then close friends, couple WoW people again, and then my buddy Steven, he plays a lot of Warzone. That's his game. And then my buddy Max loves League of Legends, huge League of Legends gamer. And Max is someone I played WoW with in the past. Like we used to play WoW together. We played a lot of games together, but he'll always go back to League. Like he loves League of Legends. I've tried League and I can't get into it. It's just not my thing. But other than that, it's a lot of the usual, like Warzone. I feel like everyone's playing Warzone these days.
It's the newest battle royale, and we were talking before we started recording. We're gonna get into a little battle royale topic next week, so be on the lookout for that. But I got a buddy at school, Nate. He's big into Rocket League. He plays.
Oh yeah, that's another one.
He's like competitive Rocket League.
I think it's a cool game.
My college has an esports team.
Oh my
gosh. So I think he was on that at one point. I think we have a league team, a Rocket League team. He was playing like Rocket League for our college versus like University of Central Florida or something like that.
That's like, amazing.
It's a whole thing. And then like me and my buddies just get together and we play Smash Bros. Smash Bros is usually our game when we're all together. So that's a good one. Usually Smash Melee. Yeah,
that's another one that I play with buddies a lot is Smash Melee. The new Smash 2 on the Switch. That's the Smash Ultimate is probably the Switch game that I play with friends the most.
Yeah.
Awesome. All right, that was a cool topic. And if you guys
that's a good stories with that.
Yeah, if you guys have any cool family gamer stories, let it drop a comment below. What games did you play with your fam as kids, that kind of thing. And we'll go into our last topic here. The Logan Paul Charizard. I mean, there's many quote unquote Logan Paul Charizards now, but this Paul, the most recent Logan Paul Charizard, the BGS 10, pristine 10 that was around his neck, walking out at the Floyd Mayweather fight. Chris, what do you think? Is this good? Badass. Is it good for the Pokemon hobby? Is it good? A lot of people are going to hate to hear you say that, but I'm kind of in the camp that it is. It's okay.
Just like the hobby aside, what it does to prices aside.
Yeah.
Just like that is such a flex.
Yeah.
Like,
do you hate Logan Paul in general? Like he's done a lot of fucked up shit. Can we forgive him as he was just a kid kind of thing?
I don't know. I don't know. I never really watched his YouTube videos or followed his story. Like, I would hear like kind of the main headlines from his like YouTube career and things like that, but I never followed it enough to kind of have a opinion on him. I listened to a few episodes of his podcast and I like them. They're funny. I think he was kind of like the catalyst for all these celebrities getting into Pokemon,
right? Which
I guess is I like it. I don't see it as a bad thing. You know, some people do see it as a bad thing. Kind of people who are going for sets and it raised prices see it as a bad thing. But I think just the more eyes on it, the better. And I just thought it was bad. Like, if you could wear a Charizard around your neck as a chain, tell me you wouldn't.
Yeah. I think there's very few situations you could do that where it would be
You
pretty
don't see like
cool.
a douche.
Yeah, it would be pretty cool. And I think that situation when you're going up, when you're everyone in the world is watching you pretty much.
You're walking
And
out to fight Floyd Mayweather.
it's insane.
You're known as this YouTuber Pokemon guy who just got into boxing. And now you walk out with a BGS 10 Charizard around your neck, diamond plated on the outside.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. I think I don't agree with of course I don't agree with everything Logan Paul did in the past, but I think there's also something to be said for people can kind of change and like
Yes.
if I mean I would hope people can change, and I think it's important to say that people can change. So if he's changed and he's committed to living a way more, respectful life, we'll call it, that's cool. And then I agree with you. Putting that aside, it's a pretty big flex. It's pretty cool. One of 3 in the world. That's cool. Apparently, there's a very interesting story behind it that we're going to hear soon.
He bought that off the guy that has all the charts. Gary is his name.
We don't know that for sure. It is pretty close to confirmed. But there's supposed to be, Gary just released a video about it, and he didn't say everything, but Gary said that Logan's going to release a video about it, explaining like where this card has come from, the whole process of getting great at BGS, all that shit. So it's going to be interesting to see.
Didn't Logan pull one?
Yeah, he's pulled a couple. So I don't know. Maybe it's one of those. Maybe
speculating that he bought one of the PSA 10s off Gary
and then cracked it and
crossed it over.
Yeah, which is totally possible.
But then I was seeing things where like the people were comparing like the hollow foil, saying like this is the one.
Right.
But then I saw somebody showed like a graders report from Beckett showing like it had like a mark on the top and one corner was stained or something like that, where like there's no way this could get a 10. Is Beckett just manipulating and giving Logan a 10 just for the hype?
Right. Interesting. Yeah. Right. I think it's in a market that has, so it's interesting too, because he called it $1 million card. A reporter asked him, how much is the card worth right after the fight? And he said, it was $1 million card. He says, for all I'm concerned, this is $1 million card. It's one of 3. It's the first edition Charizard. And, I think people give him a lot of shit for that. And I don't think he's completely wrong with saying that. It probably is $1 million. That's the card that he wore out.
Yes. So you're saying like that specific one, that 100%. Logan Paul one is $1 million card. Not if you were to pull one OG Retro and then submit and get a BGS 10, it's not worth $1 million.
I agree. I don't think it's worth $1 million. I don't think a first edition base Charizard is worth $1 million. I think that specific one, and I think he's not terribly wrong in saying that could be $1 million card. Like, I'm sure someone would pay that. You know what I mean? Like, and it's something's only worth what.
And even if it even if it was his, even if he posted an Instagram photo with it and was like, look what I just got back from Beckett. But the fact that he walked out with it to fight Floyd Mayweather just makes it that much more special.
100%. It's insane.
Did you watch the fight?
I like quote unquote highlights of it. It was just like whatever.
People are talking about if it was staged or not. I really wish. I hate fights that don't end in a winner.
Yeah. No, I agree.
Especially one of like this caliber where it's like you want to see it. Like if Logan Paul would have knocked out Floyd Mayweather, the world would have fucking erupted.
For real.
Or even if Floyd Mayweather would have knocked him out, the world would have erupted. Like I needed some type of action.
It was anticlimactic.
Yeah.
The best thing to come out of the fight was that first edition Charizard. So I'm happy. That I wore that. I think it's cool as fuck. I think it is good for the hobby. Again, anything that elevates the hobby, I think is good. Like,
yeah,
I'm here for it. I think people can change. I don't think everything he's done in this past is good. Of course not. And I think what he's doing, I hope. I mean, again, you got to remember too that he was once a kid growing up. He's 25 or 26, the same age that I am. That I'm super into Pokemon cards, like because of the nostalgia thing. You can't hate on him because he's into Pokemon, because he probably is into Pokemon. Like we were,
Exactly. And he
everyone-
said it in videos. Like he's like, I grew up with this stuff. I'm nostalgic
Yeah.
for this stuff. And now, like, if me or you had the money to buy a first edition box and open it, why wouldn't we?
We would. And I think of course he's a celebrity as well at the end of the day. So it kind of does bring that element into it. But it would be unfair of anyone to say that he couldn't be just as into the hobby as you or me or whatever, you know? So I'm here for it. I think it's cool. I'm not envious. I guess I'm a little jealous that he has a first edition base set Charizard. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
And especially in a Beckett 10, like I prefer BGS Labs. So that was like, shout out that's beautiful. And it looks so sick. So to see that was really cool.
Surrounding man, with diamonds surrounding it. Like just like I said, starts off the topic badass. Like it is badass.
It's badass.
And even if like people like don't like mess with Pokemon like that, or they don't know about Pokemon, just like looking at that, it's like you gotta admit that's cool.
Yeah. Some people think it's nerdy as fuck, but hey, whatever.
Ryan, I'm disappointed.
No viewer questions this week.
We didn't have a viewer question this week. Nobody asked us a question on our Instagram story.
Dude, Instagram stories have been sleepy this week. I've noticed. Instagram's been tough lately. I don't know.
Listen, every Wednesday we put on our story at Cards and Cartridges Podcast on Instagram for you guys to ask us a viewer question. Anything about games, cartridges, life in general. Maybe you need some girl help. Ask us. We'll give you some life advice.
I would love to give you guys some advice about that. Love to be able to talk to you about something silly.
Yes, but like, so ask us something. I'm disappointed. We gotta end the podcast now without a viewer question.
That is sad. I'm gonna cry.
Listen, we put in all this work for you guys. All you gotta do is type a few words and listen to our voices.
Sure there's some burning questions y'all have. Let us know. But anyways, we do appreciate you listening. I think this was a great episode. Let us know what you think in the comments. Have a great rest of your day. Remember to subscribe, follow us on YouTube, follow us on Instagram, Cards and Cartridges Podcast. Follow us on Spotify, follow us on Google Podcasts, Apple Music, all the good stuff. Whatever podcast platform you're listening, give us the 5-star reviews. All the reviews, drop a review, drop a like, all the things. Thank you guys. Have a great rest of your Monday and a great rest of your week. Peace.
See ya.